Hey all, I'm back in the autonomous truck project, and I want to share some of our latest features around compliance linting, so requirements checking, and then some of the related features in our platform that you can use to apply AI to validating your requirements. So let's just click on compliance linting and see what happens here. It takes about a minute, but it's something pretty cool, which is that it will actually bring you back an evaluation of the compliance of again consistency of your different requirements. So you can see it caches some stuff and it brings it back pretty quickly, and it brings back, hey, there's a missing trace on one requirement. There is a bad conflicting requirement down there, a whole bunch of other items. So that's super cool, super useful. Let's also try a couple other things. So you can see that we have this copilot that you can use to tag a bunch of different requirements. So for example, if you have this requirement around vehicle must detect obstacles in minimum range, you can check this. Before we go to the Copilot, let's quickly take a look at some of the other things under actions. You can check viability of that. You can find similar requirements, group similar, and retrieve citations, all of which we'll try in just a sec. But we can click Copilot, and for example, we can classify it not as one of the existing classifications. We can tell it, for example, provide feedback on whether or not this is a valid INCOSI requirement. And we don't provide any inference options, so it doesn't do a classification. Rather, it just provides that feedback. And you can tell it to look at documents, like if you've uploaded some guide, maybe an internal guide or similar, and you can propagate those changes to other fields on this requirement. So we'll give it a sec, and it'll bring back something interesting for us to look at really quickly. So it says, okay, it's valid, and here's the reason. So it specifies a measurable quantity, it's aligned to safety and operational standards, it's clearly defined, includes a reason statement, has undergone verification testing because of values that are present on that. And so we can save that, we can call it, INCOSI valid. And once we get that saved, you can, I'll show you where you can go and find that in the future. So we do the same thing for example, tracing requirements to FMEAs, to HARAs, doing automatic traceability, so on. And the reason it's taking a minute here is that because this is a requirement that has children that are hazards, it's attempting to propagate this change through those, saying, hey, if we made this change to the requirement, does this have any impact on the hazards that are associated? So that's why it takes a minute right here. Cool. I'll pause this for a second, be right back. Okay, so now that we have that, it reloads, and as soon as it reloads, you'll be able to see where this gets saved. So right here, all the way at the bottom, would show up there, but there was an issue. Okay, all good. We can quickly try some of these others. So one thing you can do that somewhat clones the check viability and then retrieve citations is you can go over for a given requirement to context, and you can ask various queries depending on different information that's present. So you can query based on available documentation. Hey, based on documentation, does this seem like a correct requirement? And you could also, as we'll see in a minute, do this on the basis of web results or on the basis of a wide variety of different traceability analyses, for example, code that's associated with this requirement or similar. So we'll give it a sec and we'll take a look at what it provides. Cool. So right here, so based on the requirement of provider information in the image, the flowchart depicts an AI-based system right there, visual details, new insights. Clear delineation, use of AI could align with regulations like 26262. And this is the most relevant regulation that was found among the associated documents. Here was a clause, example, and yeah, you got some nice answers there. Okay, final thing you can do is in Saphira GPT, there's actually a project mode where you can tell it to answer questions based on the project. So while this is loading, let's quickly set that project mode. And you can see that I have some general queries that I have here, but you can tell it, tell me whether, give me feedback on requirement AVSR1. Cool. And we'll give it a few seconds to come back. I'll be right back. Okay, so it came back pretty quickly, and it said it's essentially considered the context of applicable standards, and it says that the requirement should ensure diagnostic coverage, single point fault metric, latent fault metric are adequately addressed, which it may not be here.